Good day, this is Sylvie with another health tip. We're doing a Magnets 2.0 today, so I have a slightly different setup because I'm going to do a little bit of demonstration. And yes, I did take a little bit of break for the holidays, so sorry if you missed some videos, but back in the new year, looking forward to keeping on track with a video every other week and ideally out by Monday or Tuesday of the week. And so without further ado, I'm going to work towards explaining a little bit more about the magnets as I'm learning more and more about them and using them and helping people heal and reduce and eventually eliminate pharmaceutical medication by using the magnets. So that was really exciting, and this is what really propelled me into wanting to do another magnet video. I had my own personal experience with them too that was quite miraculous, even more so. So there's a few adjustments and some few tweaks and a little bit of sort of DIY stuff as to how you can figure out your magnets, whether positive, negative, north, south, etc., etc. So here we go. I'm just going to hop on my massage bed here, and I put on some shorts and a tank top so that I can demonstrate sticking on the magnets. So let's see how this goes. All right, so there are different kinds of magnets. Now, the ones that I prefer after using them are I got them on Amazon. I imagine you can get them almost anywhere. So they're neodymium type magnets, and they're designed actually to screw into the wall. And there's a kind of a larger hole where the screw sits, and then there's a smaller hole that sits by the wall. And from what I've been able to figure out, that the one with the larger hole, now you'd want to test yours just in case they were a little bit different. The one with the larger hole is the north and negative side pole, and the smaller hole that is flush would be the positive and south pole. So the positive and south pole is a stimulating experience. So you would want to put that on something, let's say you had a sluggish liver. You would want to stimulate your liver. Then what you would do is you would put this side on your sluggish liver. Now let's say you had inflammation or pain. You would want to put this side on it because you want to reduce it. So think negative, north negative, that's good, and reducing. And then you want to think south, stimulating, positive. So you're adding energy to it. So here we go. And then these are other magnets that you can get. I also got these on Amazon. I imagine you can get them elsewhere as well. I really don't like supporting them, but sometimes it's just really convenient. So this is nicely identified. You can see the plus sign here. There's a positive. So that's already kind of figured out for you. And I don't think they put a negative here, but it is black. So I guess that kind of implies negative. Now they were behaving themselves just before I did the video. And in theory, if this is positive, this negative one should stick. Oh, here we go. Nice. It's working. So the negative side is sticking to the positive side. So that's confirming that when I figured it out, I decided that this was negative and north, and that was correct. And then this positive side should stick to the dark, and it does. Okay, so that is good. Now there's another way of doing this. If you get yourself a trusty compass, or this is the one I've got. Okay, so here we are for the demo. Now I'm trying to see if I can get this nice and clear. So here is my compass, and here is this. So the positive, so the white arrow is pointing to the positive. So the white arrow is actually, would be north. Well, it would be negative. So pointing to the positive. So this is south. So the white would be actually pointing towards the South Pole. So the positive is the South Pole. It took me a little while to kind of like wrap my brain around it. And then if we turn it the other way, now red is pointing north, and the north is the negative side, and this would be the North Pole of the magnet. So you can do it with these ones as well. So this in theory, okay, good. I'm just getting a little excited there. But it's still like the south, it's pointing to the South Pole. So this is the south and positive, which is the flush, smaller hole, which is what I said earlier. And then the other magnet going this way is the pointing to the North Pole, or the negative, which is the one I've been using. I thought I got it backwards, but it was working so well it didn't make any sense to me, and I actually didn't. So that's a nice confirmation. So those are some tests that you can do if you don't have magnets that already have a positive and negative poles marked on them. You can use a compass to find out, especially if you're just buying this kind, because this is really truly my favorite, because I find they're so small I can stick them to my body. And I also have another strategy that I use as well. Now we've got some options. I'll show you how I use these small metal magnets. So let's say I have some inflammation here. I tend to actually have inflammation actually just right kind of up here, but I'm going to pretend it's a little bit lower. So I'm going to put the larger north side negative on. Let's say I've got inflammation here. So I'm going to put that there. And I mean, I've got two different kinds of tapes. This one I got from Dollarama, and it's effective in terms as it sticks well. But I don't really like how it feels, and I don't really trust the, what do you call it? Whatever they use to make it stick. But in the moment, sometimes, you know, some compromises are made. It still promotes good healing that way. So I kind of do like a little cross and stick it on that way. So I don't know if you can see this. Oh, we got it here, right here. So we've got I just do like a little cross, and I find that that's very effective at keeping on. Sometimes it even stays on like overnight or throughout a day. Sometimes they start falling off, so it's good to be mindful. I've even taken a shower with these, and most of them stay on. So it's convenient in terms of treatments, because you don't have to lie down for your treatment. You can just kind of keep moving. So that's great. Or sleep too. I use them primarily when I go to sleep, because sometimes I have some inflammation that acts up a little bit. And then I sleep like a baby with these magnets. So what my friend discovered is once you do this side, then on the opposite side, of the magnet that you create a stronger pull or charge. So I've got the negative side touching my skin. So this time I'm going to use the positive side here, the little smaller circle flush, and I'm going to put that on the reverse, like completely underneath. So I have the one on top my leg and one on the bottom. So this is another tape that I have. I find it sticks just a little less well than the Dollarama one, but I prefer it because it's kind of more porous, and it's almost like a kind of more of a paper / material tape. So I think this would be the better one to use. It is more expensive, so it just depends on your budget. And it's a little trickier to find the ends, so I'm just going to pretend that I use this one because I don't want to waste my time. And I'm just going to use the maybe slightly less desirable one, but it just depends on what you want. I don't seem to react to the adhesive on this one's negatively, anyways, that I know of. So that's a good thing. I have options for people who can't handle adhesives at all. I have a friend who cannot do adhesives. So, or some people just don't like to have stuff stuck to their skin. I get it. So let's see if I can do this. So there's the one on my leg here on the front, and I'm going to put the other one on the back, kind of. Can you see it? That is tricky. I'm going to put it on the back, on the opposite side. Let's see. I'm not sure if that works here. And then lighting becomes a problem because I'm creating, oh, there we go, there on the back here. So there's the back one, and you can see the big, and then there's the front one. Oops, there we go. And the front one. It's going to be a lot of editing. Okay, so that's one way. There we go. One way of doing the magnets. Now I have a practitioner who uses these magnets, and she just puts them on the clothes. So she uses a very thick tape. You could use almost any tape because you're just putting it on the clothing, and she just tapes these directly on the clothes, and then opposite, or she has a whole system of muscle testing with the legs, which I would love to learn how to do. And she finds out, she has the body tell her where to put the magnets for the treatment. So that's pretty amazing. So these are the ones she uses. And you can, if you were giving treatments to people on their clothing, maybe this is just as convenient. And they're nice and big too. They're wider than the other ones. And they're, I imagine, just about as strong as they're comparably strong. These don't feel as strong because they're covered in leather, which is another advantage because if you do get them together, you can pull them apart easily and they don't tend to crack or break. Advantage. These ones, I'm going to take new ones. Okay, whoops. I store them in baby socks. If you've got a better idea, please do share. Because they come, when you buy them, they come with these tiny little plastic separators, but to try to get them back together in the box with plastic separators is a disaster. I had one fall to the floor, snap together and create a spark, and it's all broken. So that's not practical. So what I do is I store them. I just bought some cheap baby socks. Actually, these are nice cotton ones because I use them for treatments as well. And I put them in there. So hence, if you cannot handle or would rather not use adhesives, this is a very funky trick. I just make sure that my magnet is in the orientation that I want first, so you can kind of feel the divot is bigger on one side than the other. So let's say I had inflammation here. So then I put the magnet on the skin where I would want. And then when it's in the direction that I want, I use that safety pin. You can see that. And then I just poke the safety pin on. You could even have a shirt or a little outfit that you could just, if you have a lot of pain and would need magnets everywhere, just kind of set it all up with your shirt. And then you just take off the shirt and put it back on whenever you want a treatment. And voila, you just might want to double check on the orientation of the magnets because sometimes they switch as they move around and touch each other. They flip flop. And then I would do one. Okay, there's no magnet in here, but it doesn't matter. Make sure that it's, again, the proper orientation. So this one, I have the negative side touching me. So on the opposite back here, I would put the positive touching me. And I would either get someone to help me or kind of get creative to put the safety pin on the back. So you've got you're creating the positive and negative pull. And that seems to be the strongest healing response. You can notice like a shift like up to 5 minutes after, or sometimes almost instantly when you put these on. So it's faster relief than most painkillers, and it's safer relief than most painkillers, and it's cheaper because once you buy the magnets, you can just keep reusing them. So it can get a little pricier as you get more and more excited and start buying more and more magnets. But once you've got eventually there'll be plenty of magnets and you won't need to buy any more, especially if you store them carefully like I do, because otherwise they will break. These ones can be quite brittle. So, okay, there's no magnet in this one. And this is how I store them. So a whole bunch of them. lots and lots of baby socks, and they just go poop, and they all kind of hang out together, and they're relatively easy to pull apart. Oh, there's one there. Sometimes they're a little testier, but again, they're protected. They're not going to shatter, and then I can just store this somewhere away from computers, away from phones, being mindful. And the caveat for magnets, again, if you have anything in your body that uses electricity, if you have a medicine, what's that word? Delivery system, that a medical delivery system or a pacemaker, magnets are not for you, unfortunately. And if ever you have anything like metal pins or whatever, double check with your practitioner to make sure that magnets are safe for you. Very, very important safety tip. So I went over the storage, I went over the black magnets, I went over the sock system, I went over the idea of creating a treatment outfit. Is there anything else? I went over positive and negative. And I can add a few videos. They'll be similar to before. And I think I found a few extra videos of just, someone using a compass and things just to help you orient positive and negative from your magnets to make sure that you can figure that out in case mine didn't turn out as well as one would hope. And I think that's it. Yeah, so I use them. If ever in my healing process, if I do find myself with some inflammation and a bit of pain, I find it's the most effective treatment that I've ever used. And it does last for quite some time, even after they've been removed. So that's very exciting. And I was able to help someone who really injured themselves and who was suffering quite a lot with the magnets and showing them how to stick them on. And it is my friend actually who told me about the positive and negative facing each other. So as we work together to uncover all the magical truths and information of natural and holistic healing, we will all learn so much more together. So please, if you have any questions or comments, put them down. If there's something that you really liked about the video, I'd love to hear about it. And I think that's it for today. So Happy New Year, and until we meet again.